Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to On the Mic. We are back. We had a slight little delay here because we had a new setup going on. We moved stuff, a lot of big things happening here. But I'm standing here with Brett Moreland, who has now been officially, I'll call it a promotion. It's more just like a, hey, this is what you're going to start doing now. I guess I don't want to call you a teacher. What are we actually calling you at this point?
So really just same title, same thing, just
Right.
now kind of leading all of our trainings.
So obviously you previously and still hold the director of sales position here at the DJ Lindsey team. And now, right, because of your extensive background, the deal handling, deal doctoring, you are now going to head all the trainings, which we have in person, but now we've also gone completely full broadcast virtual, which is what this current setup is right now. So, if you're anywhere basically in Florida at this point, you can join our brokerage, which we'll get into all those things. But you can still receive the same training and not have to physically be in the Northeast area and in person, but still get the same experience. Yeah. Super exciting.
Absolutely. And that's the goal, right? Because, people are busy doing lots of different things throughout the day, and to be able to still give them access to that education and that, ability to constantly level up and make themselves better at what they're doing every day is huge. Because, yes, we always love when we have a full house here, and typically we always do, right? But the ability to be able to reach people wherever they are, right? Whether it's at our Palm Beach office or, anywhere else, to be able to zoom in and see them real time, and also have the ability to have a moderator where they can ask questions and raise their hand, and it's all real time, is pretty powerful. I think it's, pretty cool. And I know the agents have loved it so far. We've got really good feedback.
No, they absolutely love it. I mean, even so, now that it's just kind of like Matt has taken up full operations of the studio and broadcast, he's done an excellent job. But like even today, one of the kids out here got stuck on a phone call with a customer, obviously didn't want to cut him off so that he can get into the training. Doors get shut sharply at lunchtime. He was just like, I'm just going to pull it up on Zoom. Like it's like sitting in the room.
Right. Exactly. And that's the goal. And, hats off to you guys for being able to pull all this off. I mean, it's been incredible. Like, sure, we figured there'd be some growing pains, but honestly, like it's been pretty solid all throughout the way, just with the audio, with, being able to Zoom people in, and just, the quality, right? The goal was to be able to, in 2022, really level up.
Absolutely.
Provide a better training, provide a better platform, reach more people, do things on a higher scale. And I mean, I think we've definitely done that. And really, we're just scratching the surface of where we're headed.
Well, and obviously everybody, with the past 2 years, COVID, everything like that, where some people just might have this extended duration of where they can't be around other people. And they're like, well, now I'm also not going to be able to get the same training, or just I'm going to have to just be in this slump for 10 days, whatever the quarantine is at that given time.
It's always changing. We don't know.
Right. Exactly. So, but now they don't have to. I mean, and I see, time and time again, I log on just because it's great to see, learn, monitor, etc. It's the same faces and new faces, and we keep adding them. And every single day I see the attendance in the Zoom growing, because it's pretty engaging. I mean, you literally can ask, you could be on Zoom the same way you're in a classroom or whatever, but I don't know, let's say you have a sick child at home or whatever the situation is. Maybe you are writing up an offer and you just want to tune in, you want to listen to it. I mean, a lot of them listen to it the same way they listen to a podcast, right? They just tune in, they listen. Half the time you're so thorough that you obviously have great slides, but like you sometimes don't even need them. It's just you talking, it's your experience, it's somebody asking a question, and then whether it's objection handling, script, anything, whatever it is, it's great. And then to be able to watch it back if you just fully missed it. That's the beauty of it too, is that, man, when is Brett going to give that next training because I missed the last one because I had showing, which is of course the goal, right? You don't always want to be available to sit in this room. So it's like being able to watch it back. So, a great example was DJ on Tuesday, great one, over an hour of it, working with investors and investing and just knowledge, even from out of his own brain, giving that to first year agents. Like it would literally be like if you could listen to Bill Gates or Warren Buffett speak while they were building what they were building at the time of like inception.
Which is crazy.
Right? That's ludicrous.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think that's what is so cool about it. It's just that we're trying to add so many different facets, right? So whether you've been here with us one day or, 10,000 days, that we've got something for you that's going to be able to help you advance in your career.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many different things that are always changing in our career, right? We tell the agents all the time, what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow, right? And we kind of pride ourselves in being able to stay ahead of those trends and what's going on so that we can help educate them. And, we tell them, yes, we've got the library now to where they can access those trainings, but even if you've been to it once, come back. Because even DJ was saying it yesterday, like the goal is that even if you pick up one nugget or two nuggets from the entire training, that's something different, that's impactful. That could make you sell 2, 4, 10, 20 more homes a year just off of that one little nugget alone. So that's the goal, right? To constantly be leveling up and to really helping our agents be able to achieve their goals and to have the knowledge and the expertise. Because, we all kind of joke about it. An agent on our team that's been with us 6 months and in the industry 6 months has the knowledge and the foundation of your average agent that's been in the industry for 7 years.
Which is crazy, which is literally just ludicrous. And that's why, a lot of times it looks and sounds too good to be true, but it just isn't, because there's no too good to be true nature, in the sense that like it's just hard work and knowledge.
Right.
Like there's no too good to be true. It's literally, if I sent you, and I say that I use this analogy all the time. It's like, if you had a camera and I had a camera, we would have two very different things.
For sure.
It's like if someone gave me a lead, someone gave you the same lead, there'd be two different outcomes, different outcomes with how that transaction went, because you know what you're doing. I don't really know what I'm doing. Right. So it's like, they're going to be like, Todd we bought a house, but like he had no clue what we were doing, because we wanted that house. We found the house. Todd was just the real estate agent, versus like Brett dug and dug and dug. He made sure we had, like, it's just a totally different experience. And that's what we're trying to get these people to realize, not only customers, but we're getting agents to realize, guys, real estate can be really easy and can be really hard. It depends on what kind of experience you want to give the customer. If you want to give them a whatever experience, it's going to be easy as hell. You're going to be able to be like, cool, I'll open this door. Cool, go inside. Let me know if you want this thing. Or it's going to be really hard and you're going to earn your commission with, hey, I got to fight against 17 different offers. My people really want this house. They got to get in before school time, whatever it is. And that's what you're training these people up. And you can do it now at your own pace, where if you have showings, you're already super busy and you have no time to really dedicate. You can either do it in your free time and watch it back, or you can jump in when you're ready, because they're always, you're scheduling them. It's 3 a week. It's 3 days a week. There are classes, 8:30 and 11 Tuesday, 8:30 and 11 on Wednesday, 8:30 and 11 on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Every single week. I've worked with real estate agents in the past outside of this company, and never have I heard of that. Right. It's just building this community of learning. And I think it's also important now to really highlight too. So we've extended this training, and it was a big deal, because we're like, okay, how do we bring it virtually? Because we need to reach the Palm Beach people, right? Correct. We have our office down in Palm Beach. We really need to make them feel connected, give them the same resources we have. Once we set our sights on that, we're like, well, I guess we really can join from wherever if you want to. Yeah. If you really want to, you could join from wherever you want to be. And that kind of had DJ and Lindsey's mind turning. It's like, okay, well, why are we sandboxing ourselves into our model? Why aren't we just providing this for other people?
Right.
And now you literally can join our brokerage and walk into probably the best splits in the industry.
Right. The best everything, right? The best splits, the best, training, the best, access to people who can walk you through these deals. What we do, what we provide is really unheard of, and it's funny because we literally just, right before this, I was wrapping up a meeting with one of our newer agents down there, and, he is experienced, right? This isn't his first brokerage. And he was just like, it's amazing the fact that I've got 3 awesome people that I can always go to for support and to help me get deals done, where, elsewhere, sure, I had a broker that I could send a message, and, if it was before 4 o'clock, he might get back to me, but if not, he's at happy hour and he's not responding. And it's like, we laugh about it and joke about it, but it's true. Like it's when you go elsewhere, you don't get the support, right? If you reach out to a broker, you have a question, guess what? They might get back to you in 24, 48 hours. Right. And in this market, shoot, if it takes 24, 45 minutes, like you might have missed the deal. And it's like, you don't have time to be able to do that. So I heard, I don't know if it was your wife or it was Megan or somebody, I had overheard them talking to somebody, and the person that we were talking to said the first time that they had to go to a conference to hear their broker speak, because they had never heard the broker speak locally. I'm like, wow, I don't know if that's good or bad. We're like, okay, great, he spoke at a conference, but like, you can't even get him on the phone. Right. Like, what if you had an issue? Yeah. Like, you're just going to like bombard him and like as you go along. Yeah. Right. Bombard him in Las Vegas and be like, I have a question. And then ask him a question about, I don't know, 2,600 miles away. Yeah. Like, and he's not going to be,
it's crazy. And I think that's where we put our fist down and and we're just like, yo, like, we got to do something completely different. How can we totally rebuild this? And when we put our heads together, it was exactly this. It's like, how can we do a full scale streamable classroom that can be done and viewed from wherever and provide that same high level of trainings that you were getting from inside the room.
Right. And I think what's really cool about how we're doing them now, and just like the model we've gone with, is it's more than just like, here's what we're doing, here's how you can learn. It's interactive, right? It's almost like a game show, if you will, because, we have the little ball mic, we pass around, we've got multiple mics to where like people are talking, they're asking their questions, we're bringing them up on stage.
We got the ball mic back there.
Yeah, we got the ball mic.
Yeah.
Look,
there we go. This is the ball mic.
Yeah, right. And then they're talking into it. We're passing it around. We're making it as fun and engaging as possible because that's what keeps them coming back, right? And them being able to give their feedback on, what they want more trainings of. And we're constantly, sending these surveys out to find out what are they coming up against because, like we had mentioned, the industry is ever so changing and things are always evolving that it's like, we have to stay ahead of that. And these agents are the ones on the front lines that are, showing multiple customers a day, setting multiple appointments. So, the fact that we're able to get their feedback and kind of meet them where they are and really level them up, I think is pretty impactful.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said about how we're disrupted the industry when we first came into this. And it was like, okay, like we have these other brokerages around us. Everyone's competing for the same thing. We kind of lopped off our piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And then we moved on. We're like, started inching away. Yep. We started inching away further and further away. And finally, we're just in such a different, weird class of our own that I feel like I personally think have finally made the fishbowl effect, right? People are starting to look in and be like, what is going on there? I want to check that out because everybody seems to have fun over there. They seem to be getting paid over there.
Right.
Who do I talk to about this?
It's intriguing, right? People will they'll see the success of our agents, right? Especially the new agents, like what they're able to accomplish in their first year. Absolutely incredible. Like I've lost count at this point, how many new agents that we've got that have come to the team and literally within their first year or even less have bought like a brand new car or, accomplished some kind of goal that they put on their vision board. And it's like, the fact that this is happening so quickly is incredible. And it's contagious.
Right.
People see it. We're constantly, obviously with the volume we do, there's an agent on the other side of the table of every transaction. Right.
Right.
So when they keep seeing our name, they keep seeing offers from us. I mean, shoot, in this market with it being as competitive as it is, sometimes we've got 3, 4, 5 offers from different agents and different buyers on the same property. So they're seeing it and they're like, wow, what are they doing over there that we're not? And then you see the billboards and then you see, the social and everything to go along with it. And it really just drives them in. Like people are intrigued. They want to see what we have going on. And like you said, it's the fishbowl effect.
Yeah.
I think that's why we're really growing as rapidly as we are because, the growth advisors are just grinding, doing their thing out there and bringing in awesome talent for us. And it's like the fact that, because of what we're doing and how we're growing, it's just pretty cool to see, the growth and where we are now and where we're headed. Because I think, if we were to look back, 2, 5, even longer, in the past, like I don't think anybody would have thought that we were able to accomplish what we have today and what we're going to accomplish this quick. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's really wild. I mean, I remember when we had our kind of like growth meeting about trying to, what our sales goals would have been, homes sold, et cetera. I mean, we're like, okay, how do we get to $1 billion? Like down the road? Like, how do we get there down the road? And the very next year,
we did it. Because we all thought it was crazy when, we're like $1 billion. We're like, no.
Right. But that's why it's mind blowing to me when people try and come in here and like look for, but I guess you'll always have that because you have it in any realm. You always look for like the debunkers or, the people that are like trying to find what's wrong with it. It's like, there's no way the market was the way it is. Everyone's talking about there's no homes. There's no this. How can you win a house? How do we sell 3,000 homes? How did our agents sell over $1 billion? Because people want to work with us, even from who aren't working here, want to work with us. And Lewis said it too. Who was the first inaugural podcast. He said, he was like, dude, I did a deal on the other side where the person accepted my deal solely because I was on this team and he knew that we'd do anything to make sure it happened. Obviously the deal ran through you guys too. So it was solid, right? It wasn't just like Lewis is like, I don't know. Right. So it ran through you guys. You're like, dude, this is a great deal, whatever. But he said that the agent was just solely just like, yeah, I just knew you guys are the real deal and it was going to get done.
Right.
He's like, so that's why I went with you guys.
And I think that's what it is, right? We're trying to put out there, like, you know, how polite, how kind, how professional our agents are, how hardworking they are, you know, the fact that we are innovating, right? We're providing a better level of customer service than, you know, the majority of other people are able to do. We're meeting the customer where we're at, because, you know, we actually just had an agent that I talked about in training today. You know, she came to me a day or two ago and she was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I just got this feedback from one of the listing agents that I submitted an offer on, and he wanted to compliment us on how well written our offers were and how they stood out, because they're always so clean, everything's so professional. And that's what won me the deal, right? And it's like, sometimes the smallest things go a long way, but the fact that, you know, we can be consistent and basically replicate it with everybody, whether, like, you know, I mentioned, you've been in the industry one day or, you know, 10,000 days, like the fact that we can basically replicate it and make everybody, as long as you're willing to work, of course, successful. You know, it's pretty cool that we're able to do that, because that, you know, at the end of the day, that's what makes us all happy, right? When we're able to see people that come in and accomplish things that they never even thought they would have a chance to do otherwise.
And think about just the confidence that gives an agent like that, right? Like, hey, the support, it feels great to be able to ask questions and have it answered, but then to hear it from outside and then have my deal like, that's crazy. That's giving you such a higher level of confidence with just like, we have a lot of new agents. A lot of people were giving them, you know, a year and 60 days within the first 6 months of them working here, because of the amount of information and stuff we're cramming down their throats is hard, but they're just ingesting it, right?
Learning,
they're learning. They're getting
immersing themselves in it.
Immersing is a better word than
cramming.
But it's because it's not like this, right? It's not just going in and out, right? It's literally they're retaining it, and that's what's crazy to me. You know, we have people like Kim, Chase, Theo, Scott, and Lauren. Like, we have people that just absolutely find their calling, I would almost say, because they're like lights out. And then you have other people that come in that are like, I don't know if this is for me, whatever. And it's like one little chip falls. It's like, okay, I love it here. Okay. And they start falling. And Courtney Digney was like a great version of that. She was like, yeah, it was kind of like a little wishy-washy in the beginning, you know, but then she bought her dream car. She worked here a year. Has purchased a brand new car. She had it up on her vision board. She already purchased it. And she says, and then started off this year with like 5 million pending or something stupid.
Yeah, it's nuts. And that's what's so cool. And, you know, to see success stories like that, you know, where they really can just, you know, come out of the gates and really kind of get their bearings up under them and understand the process and learn so quickly to be able to accomplish that. I mean, there's agents that will go years before they'll even close 5 million in volume. I mean, you know, and just to even like speak on this, like, we've got an agent who literally, I would say maybe now has been here 45 days, maybe even less. And she literally has 7 pending contracts already, with another one that we just reviewed that's out right now that'll probably get executed, right? And I think what it comes down to is our ideal agent is somebody who comes in, who is coachable, wants to work hard, and who literally is just a sponge, right? Who is not scared to jump in and say yes and figure it out. Because, you know, we always tell them when we're meeting with them initially, like, one of the best things that you can do, especially here, jump in, say yes, lean on us to help you figure it out as you go along. There'll never be a point in your career where you're going to be like, aha, I've got it all figured out.
Right.
Because if you wait till you have all the answers, you're going to get laps run around you.
For sure.
You know, and so it's just incredible, like, the fact that somebody brand new comes in and has that kind of success that quick. Like, that is literally unheard of. But here it's not, right? Yes, you know, she's one of our success stories, but there's others that have done the same thing. And, you know, it's just amazing when we see
and
that.
Some things click with people, like, you know, earlier than some, you know, some people come in and they can't really get on the phone too well. And they're trying to like build that kind of like, you know, rapport and cadence, things like that. But other people, it's like, they just come in, whether we always say we're a service industry. And I think that is people who come from the service industry who are totally okay with talking to absolute strangers and servicing them to the highest level, you know, whatever it is, whatever it is you need. Everyone, and I don't know what it is, you sit down at a restaurant and you ask the server anything about the menu, right? Yeah. And you trust their opinion.
Right.
Why would this be any different than asking them about a home or about the market, whatever? Like, why would you all of a sudden be like, I know more than my real estate agent? And that's what we're constantly up against. But we can our agents with confidence go into those things because they know what they're talking about because you're providing that to them. So now let's move into this. How do you think the curriculum gets structured between you, Travis, Brittany, DJ, Lindsey, kind of pulling in there? How do you guys decide, like, all right, like, hey, we really need to give these guys a good lesson on this because we seem to be getting feedback or we seem to see where the market's going? Like, kind of walk me through like how you guys structure the trainings and the classes and how you decide, hey, like, this is what we're going to go with this week.
Yeah, great question. So a lot of times what we'll do, we'll kind of, get to the drawing board and really take a couple things into consideration. Number one, the surveys that I talked about, right?
Yeah.
We'll send these out to the agents, a few different times, whether it's quarterly, every other month, whatever it is, just to get their feedback. Like, hey, what are you feeling is adding value, right? What do you really like? What do you think you could use more of? What do you not particularly care for?
Sure.
So then we can start with a basis of that, right? Because ultimately meeting the agents where they are and really being able to help and educate them on what they're struggling with or what they're needing right now is going to be at the forefront.
Right.
And then, aside from that, we just kind of all sit down and collectively decide like, hey, I think this would be kind of like a good little thing to sprinkle on, or, hey, this could be a cherry on top to build off of the last training we did on this. And, a lot of things too, we're kind of diving deeper into like the why, instead of just like, hey, this is how we're doing something. It's more of like a why we do it this way, so that the agents will truly get a good understanding of why we're doing it and kind of connect the dots. Because a lot of times if you're just like surface level explaining something, it makes sense, right? And they can kind of repeat it, but until they know why, that's when it really kind of clicks with a lot of people, like just with the customers, right? The goal is to find out why, what is their motivation, right? And ask those questions to really kind of get to the root of that. So that's kind of how we've adapted, how we come up with the trainings. And usually we'll build off of them. We'll add new things. Maybe sometimes we'll teach something and then kind of find, hey, we don't need this as much because everybody's got a good grasp on this, and we'll remove it. We're always trying to add new things and build off of the things that we've already put onto the calendar, just so that we can constantly be learning and growing. Because like we touched on, the industry is moving so quick and changing so quick that we constantly have to stay ahead. I mean, yes, we, leadership have a ton of experience collectively, right? All the deals that we've done over the years, contracts coming in and out, there's still situations on a daily basis. And we're like, this is a good one. We're stumped.
Right.
So, all right, let's think a little bit.
But that's important
like that.
to know that and recognize, like, okay, this is a problem. We need to address this before it becomes 12 problems.
Right.
That is huge. And a lot of people don't see that. They're just like, oh, we have like, that's so important. Like, people just don't look at that. They're like, oh, that's just something we have to deal with. It's like, okay, well, how do you figure out how to not deal with it?
Right.
Like, what I don't understand. Like, I don't know if DJ and Lindsey have put everyone in the same room that all think the same and different from everyone else.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. That's shocking to me. Like, Albert Einstein said it, and I use this all the time. The definition of insanity is someone that does the same thing over and over again and expects
without changing,
and expects a different result every single time. I'm like, why are we doing like something as silly as like, I had just found out that in our St. Augustine office, we had to like restart the computer in order for like the sound to do well.
Yeah.
But like only one person knew that and then didn't tell me.
Right.
So like DJ calls me, he's like, dude, I can't, the sound's not working. I'm like, so, and then the person tells you, he's like, oh, you have to restart the computer. And like, there was just dead silence on the phone from my end and from DJ's end. I'm like, this is literally the first I've heard of this. That's obviously not a sustainable solution.
Easy fix though. Like,
but yeah, it's like, we can't fix what we don't know.
Right.
And that's something that we again, like, we've kind of cultivated. I'm like, hey, like, if there's a problem or there's anything, let us know, because
you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. And there's only one way for us to fix it is to know about it and then put our heads together and say, hey, how can we fix this?
Yeah.
Real quick, I just got a text. Yes, Lindsey, this is live. We are actually live.
We're on camera live.
We're live rolling. So we are not, this is not pre-recorded, and use the software. Like, I want to do it live.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty. Like I said, thank you guys for, the whole marketing team, just being able to provide this kind of atmosphere to where we can do these things and really evolve and elevate is incredible, because, that's where the industry is going. If you're not doing video and you're not able to get in front of a mass, amount of people in a short period of time and really broadcast, like, you're in 2022, you're behind the 8 ball. And that's one thing that we refuse to do, is be behind. We don't always be
absolutely.
ahead, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Matt and I, we spent a lot of late nights here making sure that all this went down. And again, still had some growing pains, still trying to figure it out, because we can test it as much as we want at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
Right.
But
when it's showtime,
when
things
it's
will come up.
showtime, battery packs die,
Right.
or whatever it is, or there's a bad connection. I mean, like the TV randomly shut off, like even during this podcast, like all of a sudden it just went to a screensaver, like something that I thought I'm like, oh, I'm going to set this so that it doesn't go to sleep for an hour, not realizing, oh, it's also going to go to screensaver too. Like, so there's just things that we're figuring out, but it still doesn't take away from the amount of hard work that you guys put into the lessons and make sure that our agents have like top of the market knowledge and are trained up. So when they go in and meeting these buyers or going into these listing appointments, they are the most prepared that they could have ever been up until that exact point.
Absolutely.
And I think that's huge.
And that's the goal, right? If you have knowledge, it's going to lead to confidence, and confidence is going to exude to your customers, and they're going to understand that you know what you're doing, and they're going to want to work with you regardless, because right, all the other branding, all the other things we have, they're expecting a premium service. And when we're able to come deliver that service and beyond,
right,
like, that just speaks for itself. I mean, it's just amazing. I credit the agents, right, for just being willing to constantly learn and evolve and push themselves, because it's hard. What we do is not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But the coolest thing about it is the ability to just put your head down, grind, be coachable, and look back 5 to 10 years from now and just kind of be like, holy smokes, I didn't know that any of this was possible. Because, at the end of the day, and I even talked about this, months ago in a meeting, like, we're not working for ourselves right now. We're not working for ourselves in 2 years.
Absolutely.
We're working for, 10, 15, 20 year you, right? To where you're old and gray and you've got, grandkids and whatever.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to look back and be pissed at that person 20 years ago and like, damn, why didn't you work harder? Or do you want to look back and be like, damn, I'm living a great life right now and able to do things for, my kids, my grandkids, because I worked hard, because I was coachable, because I did these things, right? We all have choices, and it's what we do with them. So, just being blessed to have all the awesome agents we do that are coachable, that are willing to work, that are willing to be pushed. Like, it's just cool to see, where all of them are now and where they're going to be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now.
Right. I mean, even Tom Ferry has DJ ironing out a 20-year plan. And now let's move into this, and we'll wrap up, because you spend plenty of time away from your family, but your family is growing.
Yes.
Number 2 on the way.
Yes.
And we know you're going to crush it, because you are definitely a girl dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So two little girls and my wife. I mean, hey, kids are a blessing the way that I look at it. You know? Sure, I was hoping to have a little baseball player. Right. I think all of us were. Todd and here, coaching a little one. But it is
you're a girl. You're a girl dad for sure. I could see it. Just somebody who has just an insane caring for who you're dealing with. I mean, even the time now, right? Giving me an hour after the day and being able to basically pop out of the studio and go back to another 50 deals waiting, right? Your phone's probably going absolutely bananas right now.
In my pocket, yeah, that's okay.
It's just Brittany calling.
Todd, can you please be done with Brett? I hate him.
Yeah. She's on. She's probably logging on right now, and she's probably just like, get off. I need Brett to look at his phone. But yeah, so hey, we're gonna start doing I'm gonna try and start doing these live. Obviously, we'd love to have Brett, Brittany, DJ, all kind of our big guys on here, and then also always featuring the agents. Always featuring the agents. That's how this started, was to learn more about the agents, find out where they came from and why they love it here, why they enjoy their success here, why they're
bringing friends and family here. Like that's
exactly that's what it's about. Because in the end, Brittany's texting me right now. She's definitely watching. Yes. But the point being, literally give him back. But the point being is that we needed a way. We know the message here, right? But I'm like, why are we telling the message? Let's just let the agents, the people who work here, tell the message, because in the end, we know it to be true, right? DJ and Lindsey have built this for that people can come in here, do what they love, work hard, and actually be rewarded.
Absolutely.
Why are we saying that? Let's just let the people who do it say it.
And that's the cool thing about it, right? We want them to be on the forefront, right?
Right.
We want them to shout their successes from a mountaintop, because, what they're doing is incredible.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely incredible. So what better way than to be able to, broadcast them and get them exposure to be able to celebrate what they're doing. Like, we know they're all working so hard, and we absolutely love, celebrating the small wins, when they're executing contracts and, things like that with a game ball and stuff, just because it's so fun. Like, they need the reassurance from us and from everybody else that they're working hard, and to be able to, provide platforms like this to where we can really appreciate them on a public stage is awesome.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you giving me, a full 40 on this one.
Yes.
But dude, we absolutely love having you. You are
Appreciate
the best.
you,
You
man.
have an open spot on that side of the table anytime you want to come back.
I love it.
But I feel like if I don't give you back, I'm gonna
Yeah,
hear, I'm gonna hear it.
I'm gonna have a lot of messages to attend to. But
All right, thank you guys
awesome.
for
Thanks,
watching our
guys.
first live. It was supposed to be DJ, but he had some other stuff to take care of to make sure that the world can still turn and everybody can keep their lights on. So we appreciate you and Lindsey
Yes,
always.
very much.
And make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. And if you see us up at the top of your feed live, just jump in.
Jump on. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.